Hello and welcome back, my friends. Today we will be reviewing the AREX Delta Gen 2. Now, I fully realize that doing a gun review when there's currently no guns in stock is kind of like dangling a juicy steak in front of a starving man. But one day, laying in your beds, many days from now, you're gonna find guns back in stock somewhere online. I was given this gun by Gunzonedeals. They have a bunch of different variations of these AREX guns starting somewhere around $399 to include this blaster, which is $465. So check out Gunzonedeals.com. Maybe they'll have them in stock, and if not now, then one day when guns return to the good old US of A. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover the key features of the AREX Delta Gen 2. I'll be talking about what I like about it as well as what I don't like about it, and in the process, we'll be bouncing back and forth between the range and this lovely and perfectly lit studio. Great job, guys. Looks fantastic. And shouldn't we do the like the montage B-roll cool guy yay for the gun thing? Should we cut to that? Let's cut to that. All right, welcome back. That was in fact amazing, and thanks for the audio, Evan. 30,000 foot view of why you should care about this gun. Because it's the best gun I can find for $399 to $460-ish. So if that's your price range, this is a good value, though I still personally wouldn't carry it. Maybe you should though, so don't bail early on this video. All the things I'm going to say are earth-shatteringly important to me. So, some of you caught that, right? All right, guys, I want to go over some key features of the AREX Delta Gen 2 chambered in 9mm. Every time I'm going to say it, I'm going to add something else so it gets longer and longer of what it is. It's like it's a gun, bro. Just say gun. I'm going to review the gun. Very well. Some key features. Starting at the front, we have some front cocking serrations. This will allow you to press checks if you're into that kind of thing, or to just be able to rack slide. So front cocking serrations, all the cool kids are using them these days. Moving down, you'll see that this one is optic ready. They don't all come optic ready. I really like that this does for professional handgun application. Optics are really, really big deal. There is a learning curve. Also, what's included are all these different base plates so that you're able to mount all kinds of different optics. Good job, AREX, for thinking that through. In the manual, I see all kinds of different stuff, even some optics I've never even heard of. So like Dr. Noblet, what is that? I know Vortex, Viper, and Venom. I know Burris. There's Trigicon and the Loophole. There's the Shield. Anyway, you can mount all kinds of stuff to this if you get the appropriate back plate. The sights are nothing to write home about. They're serrated front and rear. There's a single luminescent dot here that's not tritium. That's going to keep the price point lower as tritium's quite expensive. They're fine. Not good, not bad, just decent-ish sights. I do like how the rear is blacked out. On top of the slide is a loaded chamber indicator. There's also an indicator right here on the back plate of the gun. Here you have an accessory rail so that you can put your lights, lasers, or a bayonet. By the way, bayonets on pistols are super cool and they should be employed more often. This has been scuffed up a good bit. You can see right here where it's all been torn up, and there and there. I have no idea how that happened. Moving on, a gas pedal cutout right here so that when you put your thumb here, it can kind of put downward pressure right there, and it's also textured here and on the other side. I really do like the textured grip. It's just the perfect amount of tackiness for me. Not too much. You really want your hand to stick to the gun. You don't want your gun to stick to your hand. When I was newer to shooting, I wanted it as tacky as possible. And really what I was trying to do was overcome some problems that I was experiencing in my grip, and to be able to really have it stick. But once I got my pressures right and everything set, I didn't have that problem anymore. So now as it stands, I really like the tackiness, the texture right here. This gun is also truly ambidextrous. That's a real hard word for me to say. On a side note, I always want to say ambidextrous, in which case I'm adding multiple syllables. It's ambidextrous, or you can just do the shortcut and say ambi. It's truly ambi in that you've got your slide stop lever here and a button here to eject magazine, as well as on this side. It's not something you have to flip over. So people really, really like that. Moving on, it has adjustable palm swells so that you can see these ladies right here, all kinds of different sizes. And in changing out the palm swell size, you're able to basically adjust your grip angle. Pretty cool. The gun comes with two 15-round magazines. One of the mags, though, has a bumper, so that'll probably be a +2 if I had to guess, so maybe 17 right there. The mag well is slightly flared to help you with those emergency reloads, and there's no hang-up spots back here, which is very nice. We'll take a look at the trigger. I happen to like this trigger. The pre-travel is, it has a very pronounced wall, so you can see it go there. Stop. And then a nice clean break. Easy and break. Let's look at the reset. Kind of throws my finger into place there. It's catapulting it and easy. Nice clean break. And out, in. If you're newer to shooting and you don't really know what I am doing and looking for there, it's all right. Hashtag get training, WPSN network, what's up? My Pistol 1 class is there. All right, let's get into some stuff that I really like and some stuff that I don't like. I'm gonna go one for one. So a positive and negative, a positive and negative. I'll give 4 positives and 3 negatives. First positive. Cut it together and make me look good. Are we good right now? Yeah. Do I need to redo anything?
No. Please don't.
Because you like this?
I would have left that in. Yeah.
All right, very good. Here, guys, I screw up all the time, and my editors, it's their job to make me look like I'm better at this than I am. So yay for them.
Or worse.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. All right, very first thing that I really like about this gun is it's the price. $460 to get an optic ready gun that's already got some cool accoutrements. That's a pretty good deal. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's got a little tether right here. A lot of people aren't old school enough to know what that is, but the military used to make you tie it down to you, so you have like that little wire telephone cord so it stretches out. So it's Marine Corps proof. A bunch of Marine Corps guys are like, oh, I'm like, come on, man, friendly shots fired. It's funny, but you break things and lose stuff. You know that you do, so simplify that. You got a tether right there, Marine Corps proof, right? So what I like most about this gun is it is inexpensive. You can get a variation that's not optics ready for $399 if guns were in stock. This one, which is optics ready, is $465 on the Gunzonedeals website. That's fantastic. That's really, really good value. That's the best gun I can find for under $500. All right, now a negative, and I really don't like this negative. Though it's more true for me, it may not be true at all for you. The tang on this gun right here is really wide, and it's kind of got a bit of a sharp angle. Some people will be like, oh, cry me a river. Well, hey man, it cut me up. When I shot this, when we did the range portion, it was a couple weeks ago, and you can see my thumb is just starting to heal there. You got a little scab right there. I don't know how much it shows up on camera, but anyway, got a little scab there from a couple weeks ago, and I only shot maybe 400-ish rounds. So that's not fun. Your gun shouldn't make you bleed. It should make other people bleed. Wait, that's not politically correct, right? Oh God, I'm not politically correct though, so it's okay. Fantastic. The gun made me bleed, and I don't appreciate that. For your grip, it may not do that. One reason I don't like Canik guns, though I recognize overall they're pretty good guns, the tang is extremely wide. I think it is definitely wider than this as well. And when I go to make my master grip, this knuckle doesn't even clear it. So anyway, this one, it has a little bit tough over a time. You can see that little dot. I can adjust my grip around, but now the feng shui of my presentation and gripper is a little bit goofy. So that's one thing that I personally don't like. It may not be true for you. You need to put hands on this gun, run it a little bit, and see if you have that problem. Many of you will not have the problem. Some of you might. All right, second pro. So we did one pro, one con. Now we're returning to the pros list. Is this truly ambidextrous gun? The slide stop on this side and on this side, and the button. There's nothing that you have to switch over. So if you're a lefty, this is a really cool thing that you may want to lean into. No extra accessories, it's ready to go. That leads me into my second con now. So going back to the other side, the slide stop lever for me sabotaged me. I have an extremely high grip on this side, and I have a bit of an upward inward pressure which keeps this hand really anchored to the gun. So when I shoot, no matter how fast I shoot, even with a subcompact gun, this hand just doesn't move at all. Some people shoot and they'll go pop, 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 and their grip walks, and then they have to do what's called milking your grip, and that's really, really bad. But the way I build my grip, sometimes it can interface with this slide stop lever, putting a slight upward pressure on it when it's doing recoil. And as I'm shooting with that pressure, it'll sometimes cause the gun to lock to the rear, even though there's rounds left in the chamber. On my War Poet gun, I've got more of a built-up recessed area right there, which really protects that slide stop lever, so that's never happening. I got rid of my Glock 19 Gen X. Is that right, Gen X, or is that's the 19X? Yeah, Gen 5. The 19X. I'm adding Gen X, like I'm talking about millennials, Gen Xers, and I study the sociology stuff. Shut up. Anyway, I got rid of my 19X because the slide stop lever pops out a little bit more on all the Gen 5 Glocks, and so I really just reverted back to Gen 4s as it's not quite as pronounced, so I'm not having that problem. So I really didn't like that. Again, this is something that you may not experience at all. I think most shooters don't experience that problem, but I did with this gun, and so that's kind of lame for me. All right, the third thing I like about this gun, so in the pros column, and I already alluded to this when I was dealing with the features, is I really like the texture of the grip. It's built into the palm swells. It's on the side. It's on the front of the mag right here, and it's also built into these gas pedals here. And it's just the right amount of tackiness, so I really do like the grip. I'm going to go ahead and wait, and like the mag well is pretty cool too. So that bumps into the third pro. All right, third and final con is the mag release button right here. It looks all sexied out and it's all contoured in, but when you're hitting it in a hurry, it's kind of like takes a bit of a direct shot, and you got to push in pretty darn hard regardless of what side you're on. So I bet with enough training with this gun, I could probably overcome that in some time, but right now it's certainly not turnkey, and I found myself in multiple reloads hitting that button and nothing happened. I had to really dig in and push harder. So I wish this was a little bit more pronounced and not kind of cut and angled in. It looks really cool like that, but I wish it stood out just a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that as our third and final con. All right, the fourth and final thing that I really like about this gun is adjustable palm swells. If you're used to something like an M&P, or a SIG, or a Glock, those all have very different grip angles. And what that means is when you draw and you present your gun, your front sight may be a little bit low or a little bit high when you pick up someone else's gun when it's not what you're used to regarding presentation. I can't stand that, because that means under stress, as I do my normal presentation, which is built around kind of that Glock 22-ish degree grip angle, or our War Poet gun, well, that means I'm dead on. But then I take a different gun, like a SIG, for instance, or any other gun really, and the front sight is slightly or majorly dipped down. With this, I can adjust the palm swells so that I can replicate the grip angle that I would like. So that's a real big deal for somebody who has a very meticulous presentation that's down to the degree. If you're not really highly trained up for a very, very specific presentation where I can tell the difference between 1 or 2 degrees just based on my muscle memory. So these palm swells, really, really cool. All right, guys, so there you have it. Specifications. You saw the gun in action. You also heard my 4 pros and 3 cons. Overall, I think it's a good value if you ever want to jump in and get something like this. Folks, make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot of you think you're subscribed and you're not. And make sure you also go to the notifications bell and toggle it to all so that YouTube will still play games and not notify you, but maybe, just maybe, our videos will get to you. If you're reading the climate out there and you see a lot of unfair, discriminatory play that's against patriots and Second Amendment, please, I would ask you to support us on our WPSN network. Link is down below. That's where all of our content's backed up. A lot of other YouTubers, gun tubers have backed up their content as well. And we also have full binge-worthy shows like 100 Deadly Skills or Unbreakable Mind or our War Poet show or Dr. Appalachia's show, Order of Man. We also have my training classes, Pistol 1, Pistol 2, Rifle 1, Rifle 2. We have Ryan Kleckner teaching long-range precision. We have Craig Douglas teaching ECQC knife kung fuery. It's amazing, and it's like $9.99 a month, right? Or you can do for the year. Guys, make sure you support us there. Really appreciate you folks out there in YouTube land. Train hard, train smart, and above all, stay free. See you guys.